Mr. Sheikh Hassan came all the way from Minnesota. Okay? He came for this event only to educate you guys. We brought him from Minnesota to educate you guys about home buying and how we can do it the halal way, right? And we have the one and only, my brother, Sheikh Ahmed Al-Yamani. You guys know him. He's a local. And he's all over social media. And let me introduce someone else over here. Mubarak Mortgage with the halal lending. You guys know I love supporting my own kind. So I'm all about supporting Mr. Mubarak. Abdihakim, we brought him all the way from Texas. So he came for this event only. Abdihakim right there. All right. Guys, guess what? We have a local lender here in Columbus now. You don't need to, when you guys are thinking about buying, you guys can sit down with this gentleman. And he's with Mubarak Mortgage. You guys can sit down with him and actually go over everything and how to go the lending way. He's gonna educate you guys. He's gonna have his office here soon, inshallah. Mr. Najib, guys. We gotta show love to Najib, inshallah. He's gonna be the one to go to if you guys are thinking about buying a home. Mubarak Mortgage, and then we have our own local one here that you can sit down with, inshallah. So, guys, take advantage. Things are going up soon, so let me pass the mic over to Sheikh Ahmed Al-Yamani. And you guys all know me, right? I hope you guys all know me. I'm Khadija, the real estate agent. Whoever's trying to buy, you gotta come to me and I'll take you guys to those guys. So inshallah, let's start off with a dua.
Barakallah fikum. We have our Sheikh Hassan, came from all the way in Minnesota, and I will welcome him inshallah. But before I welcome him, I will say one word inshallah. Most of us are here like more than a decade, I think, and we pay in other person's mortgage. I have been in Columbus right now over 20 years, and I still pay every month over 1,000. So we need to think about that. First, we used to say, okay, how can I buy a house? I don't want to deal with riba. We're a Muslim. I don't want to take something that will make Allah upset. So therefore, I'm not going to go take any houses. Okay, but alhamdulillah, nowadays we have opportunities. We have some Islamic finance. Inshallah ta'ala, one of them, Mubarak, mashallah, may Allah bless him. So how can we take, or how can we deal with Ustad Mubarak? Inshallah, more detail, Sheikh Hassan will give us, inshallah ta'ala. But I'd like to encourage everybody, if you can buy your house today, do not delay to tomorrow. And she just said everything is going up. So if you have money, if you have a cash, that's the best way to do it. But I'm sure most of us cannot buy 700,000 or 600,000. We don't have that cash. What are the other alternatives that we have? I will give the mic to Sheikh Hassan, inshallah ta'ala.
بسم الله الحمد لله ثم الصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Is anybody here? السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, now I can recognize you. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By His grace we are here today and we are discussing a very, very important topic, which is Islamic finance. We are here to get some understanding Islamic banking and Islamic finance principle. Inshallah, I will talk about a little more about murabaha. My name is Sheikh Hassan Dhooye, Hassan Muhammad Jama', lakin people know me as Sheikh Hassan Dhooye. I'm from Minnesota, live in Minnesota last 25 years. I travel a lot, different states. Used to be IANA, Islamic Association of North America Executive Director, and the board member of one big umbrella that represents Muslims in America. that gave me the opportunity to travel different states and meet with different Muslims. So my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, when we are doing mu'amalat, transactions, whether it's business, whether it's a marriage, we have to check what the Islam says, what the Sharia says. You cannot just go and marry anyone you want. There is a contract, aqdu nikah. So when we are talking about Islamic finance, just think contract, Islamic contract. That's what differentiates conventional bank. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَأَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَّمَ الرِّبَى. You know, the business transaction is halal, is permissible. And the riba is haram. We all know that. Riba is haram. And business is halal, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. Islamic finance refers to a system of banking that follows Islamic law, Sharia. That's what's called Islamic finance. Comes from the Islamic Sharia, principle of Islam, what Allah says, what the Prophet ﷺ said, what the Islamic scholars said about the transaction. Okay, key principles of Islamic finance. Prohibition of riba, interest, no charging or paying interest. In Islamic, riba is haram. You cannot take it, you cannot give. Number one. Two, risk sharing. You know, when you are dealing with riba, you are not dealing with risk. But Islamically, no harm. You know, no one can take advantage one another. So, risk sharing. Profit and losses are shared. I cannot just benefit. You know, when I'm giving interest, someone is benefiting, but you're not beneficial. Asset banking investments must be backed by tangible asset. Islamically, when we're talking about, I cannot sell money. I have to sell tangible asset. You know, car, home, product. I have to sell something you can receive, something I own it. Ethical and social responsibilities. Financing should be promote ethical and social well-being. Everything has ethical. Everything has akhlaq. You know, someone knows this industry, cannot rip you off, cannot take advantage. Although it's a contract, although if you sign something, you are liable. Again, Islamically, I have to do, you know, the business with matter, with akhlaq, with ethical, with mercy. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ taught us. Short history of Islamic finance. 1963, that's the time the modern Islamic bank started. 1963 in Egypt. 1963 also, Pilgrimage Saving Corporation of Malaysia incorporated an Islamic banking concept. So Islamic contractors, Islamic uqud has been practicing since, you know, the Prophet ﷺ, but the modern Islamic bank has saving and transactions started in 1963. 1975, Islamic Development Bank opens in Saudi Arabia, giving international, you know, prince. 1979, first Islamic insurance takaful company established in Sudan. 1986, Amana Income Fund, first Islamic mutual fund created in Indiana. So as I said, today we are here to discuss the product that Mubarak Mortgage has, which is Murabaha. So now let's understand what's Murabaha. Murabaha definition is a sales contract where the seller discloses the cost and adds a profit margin. It's a symbol, you know the Murabaha. You buy something, add profit, then resell it. That's exactly the Murabaha. Whether it's a car, house, anything. I get something, $1,000, you need it, right? It's $1,100. Give me my money. Then you can go again to the market and buy another one, and resell it. That's a murabaha. Murabaha is you purchase a product, add in a profit, then resell it. No interest, no riba. Profit is pre-agreed and no interest is charged. So the murabaha contract also, in this case, the seller must disclose how much he bought the product. For example, if it's a house, must be, share with you how much he bought this house and what is the profit. Let's say this house is $300. I said, okay, I buy this house $300 and I want to sell to you with the profit. Calculated, depends of your credit, depends of your down payment, depends of, the how many years you want. Abdihakim will discuss that. Widely used common in financing, real estate, cars, and trade goods, it's a murabaha. Murabaha is a common practice in Islam, whether it's a house, whether it's a car, whether it's other products. Murabaha mortgage, Mubarak mortgage, for example, buy the asset. Mubarak mortgage sell to the customer at the market up price. Customer pays over time or at once. So now, if you have the cash, let's say you have the house is $300,000, and you have the cash. You can go and finance for yourself. You don't need a mortgage. You don't need a bank. But right now, the house is $300,000, and you don't have that money, and you are qualified to get the loan Islamically and federally. So, what the Islam says, it's called bay'u taqseed. The bank purchased the house, the amount that and the bank disclosed to you, like 300,000, for example, with the profit of, let's say, 20 years and 30 years. Then you can pay that money monthly because you don't have upfront to give 300,000. That's the reason you're taking the loan. So the bank will add up a profit. Remember, there is no interest here. Why? This contract is called murabaha contract, and Islamically it's a valid contract. As I said, we're talking about the product, we're talking about the asset, we're talking about the house. Okay, the bank cannot sell the money. Bank cannot give you the money and say, hey, take 300,000 and go and buy a house. No. And the bank is going to make money, over money. If the bank gives you a money, then you buy a product, then you give in interest. But the bank must be, get it and buy and purchase and own it, tangible asset, as I said. So in this case, just to simplify, murabaha, it's an Islamic contract, well known in the Islamic fiqh from the beginning of the Islam until now. So the bank or the lender buy the product or buy the asset with a known amount, then resell it to you with the profit that and then stretch the time of paying the product, paying back. Bay'u taqseed. That's the fixed price, and it's not going to change. This month, for example, you are giving your mortgage payment is $1,500. After 29 years, it's going to be $1,500. If there's a inflation and high interest in the country, or if it's down, if you want, you can refinance with the true process. So I touched on this a little bit, murabaha versus conventional bank, whether it's the US bank or whatever. So as I said, agreed profit margin, no interest is charged, tangible asset required. Conventional loan is interest is charged over time. Profit, it's not fixed and may vary, not necessarily tied to the asset, because they don't have to do that way. They have a different contracts. The bank, Wells Fargo, US Bank, they have their own contract. It's called conventional contracts that they practice in. But Islamically, it has to be, in this case, Mubarak mortgage, the murabaha contract. And the murabaha contract, these three conditions have to fulfill before the purchase. This is a condition of the murabaha. Pre-agreed profit margin. You know, you cannot just buy unknown profit. You have to know how much, what's your monthly profit for this sale or this transaction. No interest whatsoever, because this aqd is a murabaha, Islamically permissible, and there's no interest. Also, a tangible asset, you cannot take loan on cash or money. Ethical focus, murabaha emphasize transparency, risk sharing, and ethical practices. So, as I said earlier, you cannot just take advantage for someone and can rip off. You have to do any business you're doing with akhlaq and with the Islamic manner and Islamic ethics. I think the mic's there somehow. Maybe the battery. Hello. Okay. This is just general information. Current scope of Islamic finance, market size 2.4 trillion. Number of institutions 1,384 institutions, practicing Islamic financing. Annual growth rate is 17%. So this case, no one can take advantage one another, and Islam in general, any transaction, any contract is unpermissible, it's haram, any contract whatsoever to take advantage anyone. So inshallah, I will stop here. I think that's just the simplify and quick and short. If you have a question, I will answer later on. But Islamically, Mubarak Mortgage, the contract that they have today, it's called Murabaha. And as I said, if this contract fulfills the three conditions I mentioned earlier, which is pre-agreed profit, no interest charge, and tangible asset, it's permissible. You can take a house. If you are qualified or not, I don't know. You will ask Abdihakim. How much is the down payment? I don't know. You will ask him. What's your credit score? I don't know. There's, another component that, inshallah, Abdihakim and Sister Khadija may cover, which is qualification, how much you are qualified, how the lending process works. They will go through with you, inshallah. But my presentation is Islamically. We are here today to learn. We have Mubarak Mortgage that gives you Islamic home financing through Murabaha, permissible and halal contract. Wajazakumullahu khair.
Here. And I'm here to educate you guys. I throw these programs for you guys just to make sure that you guys are understanding the reasons why I want you guys to be homeowners. And this is something I'm honestly very passionate about, guys. So I'm going to give you guys a little story about myself. The reason why I decided on being a realtor, because I didn't get the support I needed from my realtor when I was buying myself. So I was like, this is not how realtors should be treating their clients. And I didn't get all the information. I was doing I was doing everything on my own, I felt like. So I'm here to make sure that you are given everything that you need as a realtor. Thank you. So my commitment to you guys are clear and open communication. That's very important. Your realtor should be teaching you about the process of home buying, educating each and every step, making sure that you guys understand everything, professional guidance, also commission. A lot of you guys believe that when you're buying a home, you are paying your realtor. No, that's a misunderstanding right there. You guys are not paying your realtor to purchase. Usually it's the seller that pays for your realtor and they work with you. We work with you directly, but you're not paying. It's free for you to use us. So make sure, even if you guys, I'm gonna say something about the new builds. even if you guys are going to new builds, a lot of people have this understanding that when you're going to new build, you're gonna be, if you go alone without representation, you're gonna save some bucks. You're not gonna save anything at all. Make sure you guys use a realtor, especially when you go to new builds. Right, guys? And honestly, it makes their job so much easier. And remember, the people that work behind that desk, they're representing the seller and not you. So always make sure you go there represented. And they pay for us. You guys don't have to pay. And frequent updates, whatever that's going in the market, we make sure you guys are understanding, you guys know what's going on. Accessible information, no hidden fees, nothing. Everything should be on the table for you guys. You guys need to understand and know the whole process. Your realtor should be sitting down with you and educating, and that's what I do as your realtor. If you guys are interested in buying, and I hope you guys are, I hope this is gonna be beneficial. Guys, I put this sheet on every single chair. Everyone who's renting, take a look at that. That's how much you pay in rent every single month, and that's how much you pay in every year, every 5 years, and 30 years. Guys, come on. Let's make our pockets full. Let's not make somebody else's pockets full. The home buying process. So first, you come to me as your realtor. We sit down, and I myself have this, but a longer version that gives you more details. So first, you got to make sure that you're ready to buy. Are you financially ready? Do you know what you want? So you got to make sure that you understand that you're ready, okay? And then second, is your, like I said, financing, is it in order? Is your taxes done right? Because I dealt with a few people that they want to buy, but then their taxes are messed up. And we have this problem all the time within our community. We do a lot of write-offs, a lot of deductions. At the end of the year, we're claiming 20,000 when we made over 100. So you're not going to qualify for anything in that case. So make sure your financing is in order. Make sure that you have down payment put aside. Every month, let's put money aside towards buying a home. Make sure we have our down payment in order. And then when we sit down and talk about all that, I send you guys to a lender. And I am a realtor. I work with all lenders. Whoever you want to go with, I'm here to support you. I work with Mubarak all the time. They're my to-go-to Islamic lenders. I love supporting my fellow Somalis. I want to make sure the Somali community goes up. And so that's why I'm always sending people to Mubarak. But if you prefer anybody else, I'm going to be here working with them, inshallah. And then that's when we get you pre-approved for a mortgage. And then this is very important, guys. Take a look at this. Usually, you don't know what any of these words are. Because when I was buying a house, I didn't know what an appraisal is. They're like, oh, your house needs to get appraised. What is an appraisal? So you guys, when your realtor sits down with you guys, this should give you all this, educate you guys on every single word. What is an appraisal? What is commission? What is contingency? Like all these words as home buyers, you guys don't understand. You guys don't know, and you shouldn't know because it's not important to your daily lives. So that's when we come into play and we educate the community and everyone that's our clients what these words are. As you guys can see, there's a lot of real estate terms that none of us knows. I didn't know. All right, let's turn your dreams into reality, guys. Decide on buying. Why? Why buy now? Is finance in order? What is the market pulse? You guys have to understand all this. Why? You have to tell yourself, why are we buying? We're trying to buy and make sure our kids have a better place to stay. We need to show them. We need to be an example to our kids, guys. Maanta caruura kulligeen leedahay. So caruurteena intiin tusino waaye. Let's wake up. Let's buy. Haddii caruurteena maanta ay arkaan that we bought, if our kids see us that we bought today, trust me, when they grow up, they're gonna work hard to purchase as well and make a better life for themselves. You have to understand the housing market, you know, what type of home you want. Is it a new build? Is it an existing home? The location, it's really important. What location, what school district am I putting my kids in? So all this is something that you need to consider when you're buying. What features does the house have? Do I need something with a finished basement? Do I need something that has a big backyard? You have to understand. And also, when you're buying, there's a lot of people that come to me every single day and tell me, hey, we want to buy, but we want this. Like, they want everything in their home. But then they have to understand this is not everything that you can get. There's some things you can get, and that's when I come into play. I sit down with you. I make sure that you understand what is important to you, and what is things that we can say, okay, that I don't need to have this, but I would like it, you know? So we have to understand all this. And honestly, right now, new build homes and existing homes, it's about the same price. Literally, if you're looking at new build, I myself live in Hilliard. So if I want the same size home that I have, everything that my house has, if I go try to buy it, over 800. If I go to new build, it's about the same. So why not, you know? That's something you guys have to consider, location as well. Searching for the right property. Determine your must-haves, and I already said this, your must-haves. Do your research on location. As realtor, you cannot come to us and say, hey, what do you think about this school district? Is this area safe? We cannot answer these questions. You're gonna have to do a drive-by, take a look at the area, make sure that it's an area that is safe for you, something that you like, and then go for it, and you say, yeah, this is an area that we would like to be in. So, and utilizing online tools, do your research. That's one thing I always recommend, is always do your research, guys. Searching for the right property. Take notes during viewing. When you go to homes, look at everything. Usually with me, I take my clients to homes that are already on the market, and then take them to homes that are new builds, just to get an idea of what they like and their expressions and how they, you know, move when they see things. I just want to get an idea of what my clients like. So take notes when you go to a new to these showings. See what it's a must for you to have and what's not a must for you to have, and keep an open mind, and be patient. This is not an easy process, guys. Some people, we find a home for them within a day. I have clients that I worked with, I found a home within a day. And there's some that it took months for us to find something. And for me, I don't mind taking months. We will go to however many homes that we need to go to make sure that it's a home that fits your needs. And I look at your expressions and how you react when we go to different homes. And understanding the market. How many homes are in the market? What is the inventory? What are the rates? Are the prices going up or are they dropping? How many days has this home been on the market? Sale prices or listing prices, local economy. We have to understand all this, guys. These are very important. So, inshallah, I'm not going to read all of them. Once we sit down, whoever is interested, once we sit down, we're going to go over everything. You're going to go home with your own packet. So, yeah. And also, when you're going to open houses, make sure that you go early to see how much traffic is going into that home. Usually, when you go early, you see, okay, this is a hot home. If I like it, I need to put an offer right away because there might be multiple offers in that. So we got to consider all this, guys. Offering a price for a home. Do your market research. Do comps. You know, this is things that your realtor should be doing. Running comps. If you put in an offer for a home that's, you know, say the home is listed for 350, but then you put an offer for 400 because everybody's offering. And then in that area, the homes are selling for 340. So you just lost right there. Your realtor should be educating you guys on all this. Know your budget. Us Somalis. Guys, we just want the best. We want the best everything. So we want a home that's 600,000, but we cannot afford 600,000. We can afford 300,000. Know what you can afford. You will get to that 600,000. First, let's start somewhere. Know your budget. Let's start small. And then later on, you guys can go up. You guys can get to that 600,000. Because if, say you lived in there, you started, this is your starter home. That's what Americans call it, your starter home. Something to begin with. And then after that, you just, you know, in the future, you can sell it and use that profit that you made off of that home. You can use it as, you know, you're paying off the new home or paying majority of the new home. So you guys know your market, know your budget, understanding the seller's position. Me, myself, I love getting under the skin of sellers. They hate me usually because I like to get the best deal for my clients. So always negotiate, and that's what we do best. As your realtor, we should be negotiating, and we should know when to negotiate. Appraisals. So I'm not going to touch on every one of them, but one thing is appraisal. The lenders usually require an appraisal, and appraisal is the value of the home. They go out, they look at it, they look at the value of the home. If the home is worth, say, this is a hot market, this home is hot, everybody wants to put an offer for it, and then you over-offered. Who lost here? You're the loser. Like, let's do our research, make sure that this is a home that we're putting an offer for that later on we build equity from, you know? We don't want to live in it for years and then start building equity because we over-offered, and that home doesn't need to be priced at that price. So make sure that we are doing our research once again. An appraisal, the lender will send the appraisal out. And then once the lender say the home is worth 380, and that's what the appraisal came back with, and then you guys offered 400 for it, guess what? The 20,000 that's remaining is coming out of your pocket because the lender will not pay a penny over that. Or you can go back and negotiate. I did this so many times. I went and negotiated with my clients, with my sellers, and said, okay, this is what the home is worth. Appraisal came back as this. You want to go back in the market, or should we continue this deal? So that's what an appraisal is, guys. And I just touched on this when the appraisal comes back. Understanding to review the purchase contract. The purchase contract is so long, and your realtor should sit there and make sure you understand everything on the purchase contract, guys. There's a lot of things that you guys need to know, like inspections, everything that we are going into contract with is on the purchase contract. Role of an escrow. Escrow is the people who holds all the funds until we close. So our deposits, everything is going to the escrow company. Usually it's the title company or the realtor's office that will hold the funds, the deposit and all that until we're ready to close. And then once the closing is done, then the money is dispersed and we're done. The closing process. Usually during closing, guys, we make sure, for me, I make sure that I do a walkthrough. Make sure that we went to the home in its perfect condition, the same way we seen it at the first time when it was perfect condition. We're going back in it 2 days before, and we're gonna make sure it's perfect before we close. If we see any difference, any changes, I'm not closing on the house until everything is fixed. And then we sign all the documents and we're closed. Closing day, that's when you get your keys, everything, everybody is given their money. You wire all the funding, the closing cost, and everything is wired over, and we're done. We're closed. You get your keys and you get to move in. We'll do Q&A later on, but there's a short video that I want you guys to listen to real quick with the market, Columbus market, and what is expected, inshallah.
Alert heading into the new year to tell you about. While housing prices are cooling in other parts of the country, 2024 was a hot year for local real estate. Tonight, 10 TV's Lacey Chris spoke with local realtors to find out if that trend will continue and what prospective buyers should look out for.
As homes go on the market in the Columbus area, they don't sit long before there are multiple offers. Realtors say that trend will continue.
I personally feel in Columbus we'll see somewhere 4 to 6% increase in sales prices. We'll see maybe a little bit of an uptick in inventory. Hopefully, things like land costs downtown, we're going to start seeing more construction. And with that, even more importantly, more affordable housing construction.
Realtor Sean Simpson explains it's simple supply and demand. He says that need will only increase as companies like Intel get closer to opening.
We are, but those projects haven't even seen 90% of their employees come to town yet. So when those get up and going, and those projects have been delayed quite a bit.
Simpson says on average, homes are selling at or above list price, but he is seeing some homes take a bit longer to sell.
We're not seeing a stagnant market, but we are seeing things that are not sell ready sitting.
So that would be my best advice, is to contact a realtor. Make sure you contact a lender that can pre-approve you. If you are a cash buyer, which we see a lot of cash buyers out there, do expect that you will be asked for proof of funds.
Allie Whitley is Ohio Realtors president and says if you're looking for a home, don't wait for interest rates to drop. They'll probably remain about the same.
Any time of the year, all year round, people have a need to buy and sell real estate. And if a person has a need to purchase, it doesn't matter if it's, January or March. They are going to be ready to purchase. You may see fewer people looking at your home if you're a seller, fewer people during a blizzard, right, looking at your home. But those ones that come out in that snow, they are serious buyers and they are ready to go.
Simpson adds costs for current homeowners is also increasing, which is having an impact on local levies and people's decisions to sell.
Because the home price isn't as important as the payment, and we're seeing a lot of increases in taxes. We're seeing a lot of increases in insurance.
And Simpson adds with the new administration could come new policies, especially on tariffs, which could impact the costs of new builds. In Columbus, Lacey Crisp, 10 TV News.
I've been telling you guys this for a very long time. If you're on my social media, if you watch me on Snapchat, I know you guys heard me say this multiple times. As Intel, and you guys know we have a lot of these big companies here, as Intel comes into Columbus, more job opportunities, a lot of people are relocating. And I know all these new builds that are sitting here, they've seen it, and they see it every single day. Literally, we're having people come from all over America. Columbus is gonna get really, really expensive before you know it. And I'm here to educate you guys about this. And I keep telling you guys every single day, take advantage of the market today. Take advantage before it goes up, because it is promised to go up. And a lot of people say, oh, we're going to wait on the interest rates to go down. Do not wait on that. Do not wait on the rates to go down, because once the rates goes down, you have so much more competition. Buy today. If you're able to, I know a lot of people are waiting for taxes and this and that. So once taxes are done, make sure you're doing your taxes right, guys. And then you have the lenders. We're going to all work together, inshallah. take advantage of the market today. Make sure that you don't wait any longer because prices are going up ridiculously. And every year we see a 6% or more, 68% go up. So make sure, guys, we take advantage of this, inshallah, and let's buy as soon as possible, inshallah. I'm gonna pass the mic over to Mr. Abdihakim from Mubarak Mortgage.
Who I have worked with, believe it or not, since 2016. I became a loan originator in 2016 in Seattle. And the first time I started giving out flyers at the masjid to the community, everybody's like, Somali Sheikh van so we didn't know we're gonna ask Somali Sheikh. So and everybody has a different Sheikh. So I contacted Sheikh Hassan and I told him, hey, Somali, there's so many Somali Sheikhs in the US. What are they doing about the Islamic financing? Our community, they're going to other imams and some of the other masjids, they are more open to people coming in, like people who are doing Islamic financing, people who are doing Islamic investment. So those communities are taking advantage of this. So Sheikh Hassan did arrange a huge meeting in Minneapolis in 2018, and that was the first time that we brought all the Somali Sheikhs together. And alhamdulillah, they wanted to give a fatwa to the Somali community and say, hey, you could use these companies to buy homes. Fast forward, I've worked for Guidance Residential, about 5 years, Devon Bank, 4.5 years. Alhamdulillah, I've always maintained the top position because of my Somali community that supports me and that know me, and I'm able to get things done and get them into a house. Fast forward to 2023, where we said, my friend and I, Ali Farouk, who's from California, we said we're going to start our own mortgage company. We came up with a name, we called it Mubarak Mortgage. Of course, we had to find some investors, get Freddie Mac on board, get a bigger lender who's called Home Mac in California to get Freddie Mac to approve our Murabaha contract. Our Murabaha contract comes from Malaysia. Sheikh Abdihakim Thomas, I don't know if you guys have heard of Abdihakim Thomas, who's a scholar. He put the contract together for us, and that's a contract we use today. Alhamdulillah. If we talk about today, and we want to talk about approvals, because when you are talking about a Sharia compliant product, is who do you have your approvals from? I'm a sales guy. I understand how the US market works. I understand how the Islamic mortgage works. But at the end of the day, I'm a mortgage sales guy. So you want to know who looked at the contract and who has approved our contract. Alhamdulillah, last week we got our approval from AMJA. Now, AMJA are the local scholars here in the US. If you know, they look at all the contracts. If you go to the AMJA website now, you will find us all the way at the bottom. And you'll find it that they are saying that our contract, Mubarak Mortgage, is believed to be Sharia compliant. If you read some of the other ones, you'll see there are violations which I worked for. But inshallah, I would advise you guys to go ahead to AMJA website, AMJA Fatwa, and just read what they are saying about everybody. Alhamdulillah, we are on that website as well to be Sharia compliant. Now, similarly to what I was talking about for our community, I'm so grateful to have Sheikh Hassan, Dr. Ahmed here today supporting. A lot of the times you don't see imams or community leaders coming out and saying, hey, you should buy a home, this is halal. By the way, waxaa la dhahay hadduu sheekh kugu dhaho waa qaadan kartaa, waa halal, dambiga isagaa qaadanaya. So you should go ahead and sign the dotted line. Just to go back, we have our shape approval. We have our our shape approval. Shape is the company that put our Islamic contract together. And then alhamdulillah, we have AMJA approval, Dr. Salah, Dr. Ma'an, and Abdihakim Thomas, who I was telling you about. Now, we are going to talk about the Islamic financing, Mubarak Mortgage. Who's Mubarak Mortgages? I told you My partner and I, Ali Farouk, put the Mubarak mortgage together. We are based in California. Inshallah, we'll have an office here. We do have an office in Minnesota. We also have an office in Texas. So we're going to talk about the type of Islamic financing contracts. We're going to talk about the step-by-step home ownership process, the employment and income, which is very important, the down payment and credit requirements, and we're also going to talk about the down payment, the credit requirements, the home ownership advantages, why you should own a home. I just showed you guys the Sharia compliance approval. Yeah, the mic is off. I'm sorry, guys. The mic just keeps going off. So we're going to talk about the advantages of home ownership. I think Khadija did a good job. She spoke about the advantages of home ownership. So let's get to it. Let's talk about the financial readiness. There are a few things that you must have. You must have credit. It's a requirement. You must have income. Two types of income, self-employed and employed, which is a W-2. Employment, minimum 2 years. If you are a recent graduate, you don't need the 2 years. You can come with your offer letter, recent pay stubs, and you're able to buy a home. As long as you have the credit, you also need the down payment, which I'll talk in the next slide. But debt to income, you need to have enough income in order to make your mortgage payment. Now, you can assess yourself. Example, if you make $1,000, the maximum you can afford is about $450. If you make $10,000, the maximum you can afford in total debt is about $4,500. So the higher income you have, the more debt you can afford, right? People will come to me and tell me, hey, I need to buy a $500,000 house. How much income do I need? Now that's how you would assess yourself. Now that's how you would assess yourself, by checking how much gross income. You would check your gross income, times it by 45%. You want to stay below 45% to be able to get an approval. That's what the debt to income is. Now there are a few costs. I think Khadija touched on the costs. Very important costs. Upfront cost. When you're buying a house, if you've got an upfront cost, you gotta have some, we call it ayuto, but emergency fund. We always have, alhamdulillah, family who's gonna help us, but the emergency fund, savings, you gotta be able to save before you buy a home. Now you need your down payment and you need your closing cost. You could always negotiate your closing cost from the seller or the builder. The steps to buying a home. Step one is to assess your financial readiness. Check your credit, what you can afford. Most importantly, what you want to pay monthly. Do you want to pay $2,000? Do you want to pay $4,000? Do you want to pay $5,000? And are you able to afford that? That's the most important part. Now, a lot of the people will be excited and go find a house and later find out that the payment is $5,000. So the first thing you want to do is, hey, if I buy a $300,000 house, what's the payment? Okay, let me go up to $350,000. You want to know those numbers before you do anything else. In that way, you know where to go look, what area to go look. You don't just go to the most expensive neighborhood and find a house and later on end up canceling the house because the payments are too high. That's a pre-approval. You will get your pre-approval. You will get your estimated monthly payment and cost. The house hunting, you do that with your agent after you have your pre-approval. And then, of course, you make an offer. You negotiate on a property. When you do that, you have your inspection. You make sure the house is good and sound. You move forward. And then you have your closing day where you take possession. You deposit your down payment. Now, the Murabaha contract is very straightforward. It's buying and selling. We would buy the house one day before. The next day, when you come to the table, the house, we would be selling it to you. It's interest-free. It's because the transaction is structured to sell a house to you, right? Transparency, because we will tell you we bought the house for $500,000. We're selling it to you for $1 million. You'll have that in the contract. It's asset backed because we are selling you the house. And flexibility, we do have the flexibility in the contract. In case you have the money or the means to pay off early, you're able to pay it off quicker by adding small monthly payments or by making a chunkful end of the year, every 6 months payment. Ownership. At the day of closing, when you get your keys, the house will be in your name, you will be on title. When the recording happens, you will be the owner of the home. Sharing of risk. Just because we prepared those legal documents before you bought the home, we worked with a title company, and we took ownership of the home at the day of closing, that's already a sharing of risk. It's a predictable payment, meaning that your monthly payment is going to be fixed. It's never going to change. If you sign a 30-year contract, your monthly payment is going to stay the same. Two things can change when you see a change in your mortgage. One is property taxes. Because of property values go up, property taxes increases. Homeowners insurance. Right now we have inflation going on, so homeowners insurance, car insurance are all going up. So homeowners insurance, property taxes, those can change anytime. Now, it's very important to be pre-approved because it's your loan officer's job to educate you, a licensed loan originator to educate you. In that way, the transaction can close smoothly without a lot of stress. You have to hand your 2-year tax returns, 2-year W-2s, all your documentations for the lender to evaluate that you can qualify for this home. Now, if you give maybe wrong documents, right? The lender might give you a wrong approval, and at the end, they will find out, and you will not be able to close on a home. So it's important to give all pages of the tax returns in order for the lender to see if you have a rental income, if you have a business, and so on. Pre-approval, the market is very competitive. So pre-approval gives you an advantage for you to compete, to show that you are ready to close on time and close quick, and your offers get accepted. Versus someone who's running around with a pre-qualification, that is just pre-qualification is verbally stated. I make this much income, here's my credit, here's my down payment. Let's go over the home buying process, right? Let's go over the whole home buying process where you have the consultation, you have the pre-approval, you search for a home, make an offer, you have now a contract. Once you make an offer, and your offer is accepted, you are now in agreement. It's called a mutual agreement. You and the seller are now in agreement. It's very, very important to know, once you sign that contract, you are actually you are legally in an agreement. You are legally in a binding document. Your questions, some of the questions like with your payment, all that should have came up front before. So you have the contract. Once we get the contract, we will revisit our application. If you change jobs, you gotta let us know. If your down payment has changed, you have to let us know. In that way, we could restructure the file and see if you still qualify. You will do your inspection, we will do our appraisal. Appraisal goes out and checks the house. What else do we have? So we have the processing stage where we collected everything, we've updated everything, and we gave it to the underwriter. You shop for your homeowner's insurance. Now, the homeowner's insurance is very important to check these days to make sure you have the right coverage, to make sure, in case of hail, you have all that. There's a lot of natural disasters going on. So you have to make sure you have the right deduction. Now, you do your final walkthrough to make sure the house is still standing before we close. And after that, we will close on your home. There are some things that are very important when you're buying a house. Some things that are really, really important when you're buying a house is not to get any new debt. Don't get a car, don't get a credit card, don't close out your car, don't close out your credit card, don't co-sign, don't co-sign for anybody, don't buy anybody anything. That's very important. Make sure you're paying everything on time. If the lender missed something on your credit, you might want to tell them because the lender will find out. Sometimes they will find out at the day of closing, and you will not be able to close in your house. So you want to make sure everything is on your credit that the lender should know. some of the important tips on closing on the right house. One, location. Of course, everybody wants location, the right location, safety, school, convenient. Now, you want to be able to balance that with your affordability. Can you afford that location? Do you have multiple locations you can go to? Of course, with Khadija, she'll be helping you on the real estate side. We're not going to talk about Section 8, so and little bit waxaan ku hadlayaa in yar oo af Soomaali ah. Waxaan ku sharaxay muraabaxada iyo programka. I'm sorry, quickly baan u suubiyey, laakiinse waxaan rabaa inay ay dadku fahmaan muhiim inay tahay in guri waddanka la gato. Baryahan alxamdulillah hadda waad aragtaa Soomaalida inta fara badan oo already guryo gadanayaan meel kasta ahaato, Ohio, Texas, Seattle, Minnesota. Waxyaalo fara badan baa jira oo qofku uu ka faa'iidi karo markuu guri gato. Waxyaalaha waxaa ka mid ah qofku wuxuu community, belonging to a certain community. Aniga when I found out this because when I bought my first home in Seattle, someone who was running for the local neighborhood came to knock on my door. And I didn't even know they do that, you know. Came to introduce himself. It was a new construction. So then I started finding out, hey, waxyaalo fara badan baa xagga dambe ka jira. By owning a home, you actually get to know people who are in charge of your community. Because, you know, people who own homes say, I pay tax, I'm a taxpayer. Example, in the state of Texas, the whole state actually operates on property tax. It's up to 3%. So people who own homes have a very important voice there. So I just want to say again, thank you very much to Sister Khadija. I love coming here and educating you guys. And maantana waxaan ku soo darnay walaalkeen Najiib oo muxuu ahaa oo meeshaan joogi doona. And markaan ugu shaqadan bilaabayay inta fara badan dadku waxay u baahan yihiin in gacanta la qabto waraaqihii inay gacan kugu keenaan dadkeena inta fara badan. You know, sometimes we don't have scanners. So that's why inshallah Najiib is here. We are going to have also an office in the future here in Columbus. So Dhooye, Najiib, it might be new, but alhamdulillah, I'm the expert. I've closed over 1,000 homes. I've helped over, you know, as I said, over 1,000 homes. I've actually funded at least over $400 million nationwide. So yes, we're here to help you guys, inshallah. Dhooye.
How's everybody doing today? Yeah, I'm in Sugar Farms in Hilliard. We do have a large community of Somalis that do buy in our community. Community is going pretty fast. We average about 6 to 7 homes per month. A lot of our homes, we have about 14 different floor plans. So it starts all the way out from ranches all the way up to around 3,700 square feet of a home. So there's a whole bunch of options that you have. Don't think that you can't afford it or you can't be in this community. The community has so many options, so many different promotions each month that we run. And we're able to negotiate in some aspects and some forms. A lot of the community is Hilliard schools, Columbus taxes. So that's a big selling point in that community. We have about 11 ponds and walkways as well. So good, it's the kids.
Hello.
Yeah, so we have about 11 ponds in our community. It's going to be about 500 to 600 homes when we're done, all said and done. And again, they range anywhere from about 400K to up to about 700K in that community. But again, we have 14 different floor plans, so there's a house out there for you. If any questions, you know, you could go through Khadija, or she has my card as well. You can give me a call, schedule a time to sit down and meet. The initial meeting is really just a price out, where we get an idea of where you'll be at with all of your selections. We also do have quick move-in homes if you can't wait 6 to 7 months to build a home. We have quick move-ins that's done within like a month or within 2 months. So there's options.
There is. And a lot of people, they understand, they think that when you're buying a new home and it's a home that's quick move-in, it's been sitting on the market a little bit, us as realtors should be negotiating that.
Yes.
So you guys can always negotiate new builds. A lot of people believe you cannot, this is a set price. No, it doesn't work like that. You can always negotiate even when there is a new build home that they have on the market. Said it was on the market for a few weeks. You can go and just like, twist their little toes. You just literally mess with them a little bit.
Better chance, I would say better chance with the quick move-ins to negotiate, with starting from scratch. We do help with promotions and stuff, but they're more heavier on negotiating.
There's also, if you guys are first responders, if you're a nurse, all that, there's incentives. They give you guys money off.
Correct.
A lot of people don't understand that. They don't know that either.
Yeah.
So
Definitely if you're a firefighter, you're in the army, teacher, nurse.
We have a lot of nurses.
They
so
all
in our
get discounts.
community.
Yes, they all get discounts. Same discounts as if you was in the army. The teacher and the nurses get the same exact discount.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You guys have questions for Sam? You got a question
Okay.
for him? Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Khadija.
We'll keep in touch.
Have a good evening.
All right, Erica from Rockford. This is another one that we love. It's in Hilliard. She's amazing, guys. Amazing. I love her.
I love you. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Erica Wayner. I've been doing this about 26 years, working for in new homes. So anything that you need, Khadija's wonderful, and everything she stands for, I'm pretty much the same way. I'm very customer-oriented, all about relationships. So come and get some information from me. I can help you with any of our communities. We have 16 locations. We have inventory homes. Those are homes already under construction, ready to go, like move-in ready. And we also have, of course, build from ground up. So to select your community, your floor plan that best fits your new home needs. And we can customize as well. So if you have specific things that are important to you, I can definitely do as well. Price points range anywhere from mid-400s to over 800, depending on what you're looking for and where. And yeah, I have information. So we have actually new incentives for the month called Flex Cash. It's $35,000 that you can use towards options and upgrades. We do have preferred lenders, but I do use Islamic financing quite a bit and have great relationships. So we can, instead of the interest rate, we can use that money towards the price of the home. So again, look forward to seeing you. If you need anything, let me know. And if you think of a new build, just contact me.
Yes, she's amazing, guys. The community, both Pulte, all these communities are beautiful. You guys just want to go take a look, go for a walk, let's go. I'm ready. I love going to these communities just to go look at what they have and their options. Thank you, Erica. Thank you for coming.
كويشنك waxa waaye maama ilaahay wuxuu leeyahay wa ahalla Allahu al-bay'a wa harrama ar-riba horta waxana waa ganacsigiina waa leeno baneeyay business kan meeshan hadda lagu gadaayo waxa la dhahaa aqdigan muraabaha waxama kaga duwana inaad suuqa aado dhar soo gadato bariis soo gadato sonkor soo gadato meel aad dhigato aad tiraahdo waa iibinayaa waxaa ku soo gadatay lacag faa'iida saaratay waana sii iibisay muraabaxadu waa inaad wax soo gadato faa'iido ku darsato aad sii gado waa ribx min ribx bay ka timi waa si wax loo kala gadan jiray laakiin islamically iyo bangiga caadiga maxay ku kala duwan yihiin waxay ku kala duwan yihiin contractigan meeshan yaallo oo islaamka ah kow waa in wax la taaban karo oo asad ah sida guri gaari hanti ma guurta hanti la wareeg karin la hayo waa kow labo qofka waxa ka gaday waa inuu haystaa oo isagu leeyahay saddex lacagtu ku soo gatay iyo miduu kaaga gaday waa inaad taqaanid arrin kala imaatay marka in America qof haysta 500,000 1 milyan 700 600 male see guri ku yeelanaysa islaamku wuxuu ku ogol yahay marka qofkan xoolahan haysta deyn kuma siinayo laana deyn beec ma aha soma deyn ganacsi ma ani waa ku siin karaa $1,000 markaa hesha ay keenaysaa laakiin aniga ganacsi aan ku jiraa lacag aan haystaa lacagtan waxaan rabaa inaan ka faa'iido guriyaan iibiya gurigan 500,000 waaya 500,000 waxaa tiri waxaan iskaga bixin karaa haddaan tartiib u bixiyo bishiiba 20 sano 30 sano maxaan kaa faa'iidaa marka you have my money right 30 sano islaamku wuxuu ogolyahay marka inaan iraahdo gurigan xoolahaygan ani waxaan kaa faa'iidayaa 5%, 6%, 7% oo aan isbedelaynin haddaa dhaqso ii siisidna faa'iidadu waa yaraanaysaa laakiin islaamku wuxuu ogolyahay marka inaad tartiib aad u bixiso lacagtii aad wax ku gadatay oo faa'iidadii qaar ay aado lafahaagii adiga ku aado qaarna qofkii wax kaa iibiyay uu qaato maadaama aad hal mar wada gadan karin haddaa awoodi karto kaash haysato 500,000 uma baahnid mubaarak mortgage qofka guriga la u tag waxaad tiraahdaa waa tan lacagtii laakiin mid ogaada in America adoo 500 iska wato meel ka timaad la aqoon haddaa guriga ku gadanaa tiraahdaa dawladda lagu wacay meeshaada laga xiraaya horaa laga hay'adaha dhan baa loo yeerayaa 500 Khadija okay 500 waa in la ogyahay meesha ka timid meesha ka shaqaysatay akoonkaaga ay ku jirtay traceable waa lacag la trace gareyn karo waa inay tahay la ogyahay because wadankan guryaha iyo waxyaabaha waxa la dhexgeliyaa money laundering wax la yiraahdo lacagaha la soo xado iyo drugska baa xagga lagu qariyaa qof waa haysta boom guriga gadanaya lacagtii meel gelisaa so in short islaamku wuxuu ogol yahay wax la yiraahdo muraabaxa musharaka ijaara in wax lagu kala gato bangiga caadiga marka u tagtid qasam ma aha inuu ku siiyo hanti qasam ma aha intuu ka soo bixiyo inuu ku sheego intuu ka faa'iiday uu ku sheegi karaa laakiin lacag buu ka iibinayaa lacag in lacag laga kor sameeyana waa ribo islaamku waa diiday 500 baa qaadanaysa oo lacag ah oo deyna bil walbana ama sanadkii intaasan ka rabo islaamku ma ogola laakiin waxa oran kartaa gaarigan ama gurigan waa inta hadda isiinaysid gurigan 300,000 weeye hadda isiinaysid 300 buu joogaa hadda 10 sano igu siinaysid anu waxaan ku darsanayaa 5% xisaabta ku dhufo hadda igu siinaysid 20 sano waxa weeye waa lacagtan ka faa'iidi lahaa lacagteeda inay ii shaqeysaan rabaa marka islaamikali waa la ogol yahay maadaama aqdi islaami oo contract la hayo waxna waa lagu kala gadan karaa lacagtu inay badato oo laga faa'iidana sharcan iyo aqlan waa wax sax ah maadaama qof hantidiisii aad haysato adigu aad degan tahay oo lacagtii aad bixin karinin waxa ka mid tahay raxmadda islaamka lama oranin ama lacag hel aad guri ku gadatid ama waxba ha gadanin lama dhihinin guri waa gadan kartaa haddaad iska wada bixin karin qofkii hantida lahaa tartiib baa u siin kartaa laakiin waxa ku heshiinaysaan in aysan lacagtu isbedelaynin faa'iidadu isbedelaynin hantida adigu aad lahaanaysid khasaaraha iyo riskiga dhibka aad wada wadaagaysaan waxa la iibinayana si xalaala oo run ah oo shafaafiya oo qof walba fahmi karo loo kala iibiyo inta waa fahanteen oo maleynaa maama su'aashaad ma ka jawaab so okay it's complex laakiin islamically heshiiska la yiraahdo muraabaxa guri America waa uga gadan kartaa kambaniga mubaarak mortgage culimadu way fiiriyeen waxa jirta culimada dhoo amja majmuc fuqaha shariica fi America culimada ugu waaweyn oo Mareykanka waa isku tageen anigu waxaan kamid ah culimada ka qayb gasho taga waa hal qof fatwadii ma aha waa majmuc weyn oo 300-400 culimo sanad walba waa la shiraa waxa laga hadlaa waxa loo yaqaan contemporary issue fiqiga cusub ee dhulkan aan ku noolahay wadankan wadan islaamiya ma aha soma fiqi badan ayaa jira sida macna cuntada laga hadlaa waxa laga hadlaa daawooyinka waxa laga hadlaa marriage-ka waxa laga hadlaa caruurta waxana xasuustaa waxa laga hadlayay 2 years ago contemporary fiqi towards medicine gabara imaatay waxay tiri aniga am close to 40 guurna ma hayo my eggs na waa dhamaanaysaa ina caruur dheeshana waa raba what should I do can I freeze my eggs islamically so hadhow markaa nin hela aan isticmaalo haddii kale limitation ay jira is a fiqh question soma waxaa jira dad imaanaya nin iyo naag isqabo imaanaya oo dhahaya waa isqabnaa intaasoo sano dhakhaatiirtii waxay dhaheen the normal way carruur kuma heli karno ma isku abuuri karaa labadeen isa ciyaal u helo marka waddankana aan joogno fiqi badan baa soo dhacay culimada marka waxay fiirinayaan maslaxadda ummadda iyo diinta waxa ku bannaan iyo waxa loo yaqaano fiqi taysiir Islam is not wax adag oo difficult oo yani lagu dhibaatoonaya ma aha Islamku there is a way because waa diin kaamila it's a comprehensive holistic approach Islamku wax guud buu fiirinaya dhinaca kale haddaan ka imaado this may message waxa u geysaan dhalinyarada maamooyinka iyo familiga especially young generation waana ogtihiin Somali community Maraykanna imaanay 20 years 30 years xagee degnay inner city downtown area okay downtown area maxaa yaala waa ghetto area soma schoolku waa xun yahay neighborku waa xun yahay hooyo aaba luqadii ma yaqaanaan carruurtan inay nolol u sameeyaan waaye 2 shifts inay ka shaqeeyaan janitorial waaye janitorial goorma laga shaqeeyaa after hours marka xafiisyada la xiro soma okay what happened carruurtan maxaa ku dhacay why we have so many gangs why our children gaar ahaan boys why the macnaha drug addict maxay u yihiin because annagana waa ku adeegsanahay ka culimo ahaan ma aanan fahmin saan ugu noolaan lahayn America iyo fiqh waaqic waxay ahayd markaan imaanay after some time inaan isku tagno welfare systemka inaan ka baxno bad neighborhoodka inaan ka baxno banaanka inaan u baxno guryo inaan gadano carruurteena inay degaan good school district Khadija way ka hadashay guriga maxaa loo gataa waxa ugu muhiimsan guri loo gato waa inaad carruurtaada school fiican iyo neighborhood fiican geysaa zip code-kiina fiiriya aad degan tihiin how many times are loo yaray 911 riskigu waa intee guryuhu waa intee baabuurtu waa intee your insurance is very expensive marka inner city-ga degan tahay noloshaada dhan waa qaali because riskiga high ah laakiin banaanka markaa u baxdo lacagta iskuulka yaa bixiya proper taxiga bixiya adaa bixinaya markaad guri lahayn oo section 8 ku jirto oo kulligeen downtown area oo deganahay iskuul lacagta adima bixiya no dawladda bixisa dawladda maxay ku soo diraysaa macallimiin raqiisa iskuulku waa tabcaan dad oo draagiyo wax cuna neighborhood sakaraada inagii oo dhan xagee ku dambaxay inuu dhacay marka we ended up jail iyo xabsi iyo meel marka arrin ay idin sheegaya dadka qaarkood family of 10 8 9 oo xataa before the Islam finance-ga aan la helin oo culimada u imaaday waxa loo ogolaaday because of daruura xataa inay bangiga aadaan la dhaho ka kaca meeshaan laana in nafta qofka muslimka la safe gareeyo maxaa ka weyn wax ka weyn ma leh qofka in naftiisa la safe gareeyo so never too late aniga I was advocating last 10 years if it's not more to buy a house as soon as possible gaar ahaan dhalinyaradiina familiga mid kale arrin la yaab la jirta hooyada ay aabaha luqad ma aqoonin dhibaata haysay qualified bay u ahayn low income iyo assistant adiga ummatid first generation ati kulliga degree haysataan high paying job haysataan 80000 100000 still waxa la rabaa in guri aan la isku qorin waxba responsibility la qaadanin macnaha la soo dhunto oo meeshii la soo galo that's low self esteem isku qora laba saddex guri banaanka 800000 $1 million gata guriga appreciation la sameynaya after some time hooyo aabbo waa diraysaan guri fiican haystiin mid kale gadanaysiin gurigana lacagtiisa way kordhaysaa after 20 years guriga 500 $1 million waa even you can retire soon if you want so American dream wuxuu ka bilowdaa inaad leedahay guri waxaa jirta study for the students for the school hadduu cunugu degan yahay 5 consecutive years one zip code one address cunugaasi inuu high school ka graduate it's 80 to 90% one zip code one address 5 years or more degan yahay student mobility google garay tonight student mobility haddii cunuga within 5-7 years 3 different guri loo kala raro cunugaasi most likely ma graduate garaynayo ku dhacaya graduation macnaha rate-ka is macnaha waa low waa study from America waa ma aan waxa idin sheegay marka inaad guri gadatid oo meel deegaana islaamku wuxuu ka yiri guri islaamku aad buu amaanay qofku inuu guri leeyahay nabiga kaleey sallallahu wuxuu leeyahay qofkii guri leh habeenkii iyo maalintii wuxuu cuni lahaana haysto wuxuu la mid yahay qof adduunka dhan la siiyay guri baa haysataa iyo meelaha seexato aan kare ahayn ka bax laga lahayn aad walwalaynin waxa maanta caaw cuni lahaydna waa haysataa wuxuu yiri waaba adigoo adduunka dhan lagu siiyay laakiin guriga degan tahay waaba la gato waa laga saaray mid kale tagtay waxba ku dhacay mid kale tagtay maanta dhan iyo circle isku soo duuduub company-gan culimadu markay fiiriyeen Mubarak Mortgage wuxuu kaloo kambaniyaasha la dheeryahay Mubaarak Abdihakim waa nin Soomaaliya ana waxaan ahay sheekh Soomaaliyeed dadka wax ka aasaasay ka warqaba waa company baahidiinii dantiina og. It's not like the other companies. I'm telling you this. waxa la og yahay baahidiina duruufta aad ku nooshahay waxa laga yaabaa 80% inaad diyaar tahay waa lagu la shaqeynaya 20 kale saa ku gaari lahayd waxa laga yaabaa 50% inaad diyaar tahay guri madaxa la iskaga markaa gelina waxa lagu leeyahay soo diyaar garow you are 50%, okay? Next year guri waa qaadan kartaa ama after 2 years haye سؤال في عنوي إسلامي هم فاينانسية تذكر قريها أوجد مبارك كليم يا مس كوا كلا جرا كوا كلا جرا اللي أقول ياه جايدنس بحكم إذا وحكم إذا ديفون وحكم إذا مبارك وحكم إذا UIF لكن أنا جا وحن إذا ركم الدجرين يا مبارك محيالي قف معناها أساسي أو حكله دت صومالية أو أقد روفت يا هاردشيب كأكو جرتان مركو أو إما تهوي صومالية ولا سديد عيال تدمع عيالان له يا وأجي هاي أدرس كله مركو في رماشي دقنت هاي قف كاسي sympathy معناها بودريبايا because we all go through this كل يوم وصوّد مر لكن وكد وين هاي نين كله أو هل عنق أما لبع عنق هيستا أو فيرنا which file is more profitable file كال عقب بدهم كسينية which file is quick closing you know قف كان واحد بودي أرسين قف إنجنيرا أما نختار زي معناها ولا عليه الإشيان كوكله عربته كله وإنجنير ونختار 300,000 سمينا يا أنولي يعني فايل كيسوا بوم 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 لكن قف كان وحور ربا إن لا شقيه اللي يراد وراقدان كان حق إسكسوا هبه تاكسي إنسان واي education لسيو لعب كان إمو لبع عرور سوقي وحوبة هنتي لا أعرف background قولي إن لقيته very stressful وده سهلا معها لكن واحد لسمين كرو أو فائدة كوجرت أدي عرور هذا